So her husband beat her so much because frustrated man. Are you minding him? Very anyhow man. Frustration one killer. Hey. Hi everyone. See this video, eh? I just decided to film it on a whim. No, I didn't decide to film it on a whim per se, but I've been getting requests, like personally makeup routine requests from my female friends and family, and I decided to kind of like film a mini tutorial for them. But I'm not going to leave it in my drafts. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, which is why I'm going to be sharing my bookish thoughts. I'm going to be sharing my opinions on some of my reading experiences over the years. So I've been on YouTube for like since 2020, November 2020, so let's say roughly about 4 years now, and that's been one hell of a journey. So I'm going to start applying my makeup anytime from now. I just need to wipe my face down, but I'm not going anywhere. It's 7 p.m, 4 minutes past 7 now. So I'm just doing this makeup because I need to film a couple of videos for my YouTube channel. So who has noticed that I've been kind of consistent, and I like the new vibe that this consistency is giving me. I've been posting a whole lot long form videos, but mostly I've been posting more of short form videos, that is YouTube shorts, and so far so good. It has been going on fine. The views are coming and I'm a whole lot encouraged. I don't know what plans, like what future plans I have for my YouTube channel, but I plan to post more book reviews. Like I have an upcoming exam in October, but all I can think of is reading fiction for my YouTube channel. So I'm going to apply this moisturizer. I don't want my face feeling rough or something like that. So if you want a list of the products, I'll be putting it in the description box, so no fear. Yeah, so I read a book today. I completed a book this afternoon. I've been reading it for the past 1 week, but I've not really had time to really read the book or finish the book like I would like in one fell swoop, because I'll be going to work, and most times I just read the book on my way to work, and once I get to work I'm busy with what I'm being paid to do. So I just finally completed the book today because I plan on filming a review of the book today. So the book is Midaq by Naguib Mahfouz. So the man in question is an Egyptian, and this book is a classic one though. I don't even know how I discovered the book, but me and discovering some of these old books, it's God that will help me. So I don't know if I should apply primer. Should I don't think I'm going to apply primer since I'm not going out. So I've moisturized my face already. So I'm soaking this beauty blender. It's a new one, so this is the first time I'm using it. So I'm soaking it in water. I'm just wetting it. I need it to be wet so that my makeup can glide on smoothly. Then there's this new foundation I got. I have the old one that I'm using. This is the Maybelline Super Stay foundation, but I decided to try something different, so I just got this. Anyways, so for Egyptian fiction, see, this is the second ever book by an Egyptian that I have read, and hey God, it's a 5-star read though. It's a 5-star read for me. That's how, was it not 2 years ago or like 3 years back? Yeah, 3 years back I read Woman at Point Zero, and I reviewed it on this channel. I'll be adding the link to at this point. Yeah, so I read Woman at Point Zero by Nawaal Saadawi, my first ever Egyptian fiction. Oh, that one wasn't even fiction per se. It's based on a real life story, but I really liked it. But this second one, this Midaq, I think we are sleeping a whole lot on Egyptian fiction. Like, I'm on BookTube, I'm on Bookstagram, I'm on book talk. Not really seeing much buzz on Egyptian fiction. I'm the one that has not strolled and reached that side. Okay, but this book is such a 5-star read. Oh, don't worry, in the video you will see you get my review proper. The book is really it. Like I just, if you ask me to give it a subgenre, I'll call it family fiction. Can you see the difference? Oh my god, oh my god, I like it already. So this look I'm actually going for a very subtle look. This foundation, is it me or does it look a bit dark? I'm going to use highlighter to just lighten it up. So there are mechanics to this makeup thing. So just watch and learn. So you not go to wedding looking different. Don't worry, I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. Talking about some of the bookish experiences, some of my reading experiences so far, I would say, like, there was this post I made on Instagram and even on here on my YouTube shorts. Like, one video I just triplicate it on the 3 social media platforms that I'm active on. That's TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So there was this video I made. I'm like, oh, me reading books by Nigerian female writers, and there were videos of some of our top Nigerian actresses, Mercy Johnson, Kiro Sylvanas, Hilda de Kubo, Chinwe, where they were crying. And that's just it. You see, when it comes to reading fiction written by Nigeria, I would say Nigeria has such a big market, and we have a whole lot of emerging writers. We have old writers, we have emerging writers, and they are really killing it in this field, in this writing business. Like, they know what they are writing about, they know what's up. But the thing that you cannot get over when it comes to books that hold serious themes is that, hey, the way they talk about patriarchy, how women are suffering. Start from Buchi Emecheta's Joys of Motherhood. Okay, we're still reading that one. Then like, I just feel like the themes are just, they're just designed to make you cry. I like this foundation. See how my face is shining. Yeah, wow. Let me now put my concealer. Yeah, so see the finish. This foundation fine though. Let me see if I can conceal that spot. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of things going on. I know one of the books that I've read that made such an impression on me was Ukamaka Olisakwe's book. Hey, you see that book? The thing is that nobody even warned me. I just went ahead. I saw that, oh, the book was out in this bookstore. I ordered the book. I placed an order and I started reading my thing. The way I cried. I read this book as far back as 2021, and I have a review of that book on my channel here. So it's dating about like 3 years ago. So I read this book as far back as 2021, and the way I cried because of this book, and there's even a backstory to it. So there was this guy I was doing talking stage with back then, and one day he had called me, and that was the day I was reading Joys of Motherhood. So I just finished the scene where where Ogadinma was beaten to almost an inch to death. Like she was close to death, and she was pregnant too. She was 8 months pregnant or so, but she was already close to giving birth. So her husband beat her so much because frustrated man. Are you minding him? Very anyhow man. Frustration one killer. Hey. So he decided to pass that frustration, to unleash it on his wife, like the animal that he is. That is how That's how they rushed Ogadinma to the hospital. She could not even push the baby. Someone that was unconscious. They had to do surgery on how. They had to cut the baby out of her. So this was the part that I read, and I think with other things that was happening in the book, so I was crying. Like Ogadinma was really when they say books will make you cry, you see this particular one, it made me cry. It made me cry. So this guy had called me then. Now my voice wasn't sounding clear, so he was like, that what is it? Was I crying? What was happening to me? I said, there is this book. Oh. Sometimes I don't really like to admit that books make you cry, because make me cry, because it would be as if what is so serious about this book that would have made you cry? But these writers, they write too. These people know what they are doing. These women, Nigerian women, they know what they are doing. You will cry. I say you will cry. You will seriously cry. So that was how he was asked. I told him, okay. So I decided to just gist him about the book now. Gist him about what exactly had made me cry. And when I told him that part, because I had not completed the book at that point, so I was just saying that, the husband beat her. The next thing this man asked me was, what did she do? Which one is what did she do? What did she do? I thought maybe I'd misheard what he was saying. So I was like, no, that she was in the hospital, like they had to cut the baby. And I was like, nah, that what did she do? So he now went on to say, that's how some women, where they're supposed to be their husband's peace, they'll come and be frustrating the man. And you know how women are. Say, which one is how women are? Nothing happened. Like, you know how women are. Some women, they are very diabolic, blah blah blah. Say, anyway, I just it took me aback. That one that he said that what is she doing? I was like, let me use this opportunity to apply blush. For the past how many years I've been using red blush, but I got a new palette, and thanks to God though, I can change color from red. So this is orange, and I like it. Okay, so that's how it's coming out. So as I was saying, sorry, just bear with me if this juice is not going well. So as I was saying that, I was just like, I just said that is why I'm always an advocate for women. Like, before they get married, they should have something doing that. Even if they don't go to school, maybe they don't have an education, they should have a skill, something that they can just fall back on. I was like, that's me. You see, one thing that marriage is for better, for worse, but when it comes to domestic violence, I beg, I've seen cases, too many cases of women who die because of domestic violence. Like, their husbands actually beat them to death, their husbands actually killed them. So there are even so many in the news, apart from the ones that I've even heard, like in my immediate environment. So like, I'm always an advocate for a woman to have something doing, so that by the time score will catch the man, once he start misbehaving, I'm not, of course, I hold very dear the institution of marriage, but it's not the one that you come and die now. Hey, it's not the one that you will not die put because say waiting happen. It's not it's not for better for die, be for worse for die. How do they even say it? So I was just like, that first time when he beats her up, like, so the way it is in Nigerian society, is not every parent that would accept their daughter's back. Maybe they run away from their husband's house because, oh, their husband is beating them, this, that. It's not every parent that some parents will send you back. Oh, go back, go, don't allow enemy to enter your house, blah blah blah, don't leave your husband, go back. Some will escort you there, they will drive you there the very next morning. So I was like, okay, in a situation like that, at least if the woman has something doing, she can maybe lodge into a hotel, like lodge in a hotel for that day, or just try to get herself, because you see that it's some of these cases of domestic violence, the women end up staying with their abusers because they are dependent on them. Like, without those men, they can't do anything. So we've seen cases, or we've heard cases of women going back to their abusers because waiting, like, my children, I cannot feed or anything, you cannot do anything without him, your life is tied entirely to the man. So if the man says today you will eat, you will eat. If the man says today you cannot eat, you will not eat. So that was why I was hammering on the fact that, okay, a woman should have something doing. The next thing when this man tell me, the next thing he told me was that he knows a dangerous woman when he sees one. So I'm the one that is a dangerous one. Do you know, I even went ahead to say that, okay, if the woman is going to return to, maybe the man just hit her for the first time, if the woman is going to return to her husband, it should be under the guarantee that he's not going to try it again, because let me just accept that, oh, okay, it was a one-off. Let it be a one-off for life. Let it be a one-off, even that one-off gone safe. But let it be a one-off. But if he continues, my sister, is okay. You will get him to the end of the road. Come and be going. It's okay, yeah. Easy by force. It's okay. Come and start going. And the guy told me that he knows a dangerous woman when he sees one. That can't she pray for her husband? That sometimes frustration of work, that there's how women are. That the way women talk, blah blah blah. What was all the things that I was saying? I'm like, is that justification for you to turn your wife to a punching bag? I don't understand. Please make it make sense. Like, please make it make sense. So, and that was how it was like. At that point, in fact, what even put me off, like the one that was even still paining me, let me not lie, is that what did she do? Even if she abused your mother, it does not give you the justification to put your hands on a woman. Like, that's totally wrong. So Ogadinma is one of those books that you'd read that will make you think twice. It's one of those books that you read that would traumatize you. So Ogadinma was that book. Then there was another one that I read was Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta. I cannot for the love of God understand why. Jesus Christ. And you know the crazy thing about it, like I always say, or like so many people have said, reality always informs fiction. Like no man or no woman can write in isolation. There's something that they must have seen. Any scenario that they want to think of, it's happening. So far it sounds logical to you, it is happening. That was how Second Class Citizen, Shebi Buchi Emecheta, was writing about herself. How can I forget that rubbish husband? Very rubbish man. And I'm sure anybody that has read this book, that is Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta, I'm sure they will agree with me. Who will not agree with me that Francis was the devil himself? Imagine, your wife sponsored you and everything. She was the one that had the good job. She was still giving birth to your children. When you speaking killer, like she had been licensed to populate the world. And that's how she was trying to make it as a writer. Her first ever book that she wrote, like, you know how when you want to start writing, you just write it on just normal, maybe all these jotters and everything. There are manuscripts of the story she was trying to make into a book. And this man, burnt it. This man burnt it without any remorse. Like, at this point, I want to rest. I want to rest from books that I'll go back, of course, of course. But I think I just want to take a break from books that have their female characters being subjected to ridiculous life situations. I want to read romance now. So I want to delve. It's romance I want to read. I don't tire. Gene. Because the more you keep reading these stories, and hey, Jesus, it's crazy. The more you keep reading these stories, it just gives you a certain awareness that now look at the femicide that seems to be the order of the day in Nigeria. Abi, you say that one is fiction, so it didn't happen in real life. So a lot is really happening, and well, we just need to be aware. We just need to save ourselves, like, because see this life. Anyway, so for romance novels, one thing with African literature is that, seeing that I'm a Nigerian and I live in Lagos, Nigeria, so there's a whole lot of books that are written by Nigerians, and left to me, every other day I would post reviews about books coming from other parts of Africa apart from Nigeria. But I don't know, there's just a whole lot that Nigerians, like Nigerian authors, are just pushing out, and it's kind of difficult for me to, like, every time it's just like every time I will say, no, I'm not reading Nigerian fiction this time around, I'm going to read something different. Before you know, hey, and the publishers here, they're not even smiling. There's this page I follow, Mahfouz Books, and if you see the content, like the book covers, the book covers that they keep bringing out, like for new books that they've signed to publish and everything, hey, I'll just, like, the temptation is too much. The spirit is willing, but that's why every now and then I just force myself, say, no, I'm running away from Nigeria, I have to read something not written by a Nigerian. And we have really good authors in Nigeria, but that's the same way we have great, amazing authors from the rest of Africa. Some of the books that I've read that are not written by Nigerians, for instance, The Blessed Girl, I read this years ago. I think I read it in 2022. Yeah, so anytime I try to remember when I had read a book, is the time and place, the particular location I was at reading the book, because it's not I read anywhere, I can read anywhere. Most likely one of the places that I know that I've read so many books on my way back home. Like, I used to live very far away from my place of work. Between 2018 to 2023 or so, or thereabouts. And that long journey home, I used to read there. And even when I was doing my master's program in 2020 to 2021, that was where I used to read my I used to read my school book too on the bus, on the journey back home. I used to read it there. So yeah, reading is something that kind of comes easy to me. It doesn't mean I don't have several distractions. So as I was saying, back to what I was saying, I don't want to deviate. So yeah, I read The Blessed Girl by Angela Makowa. So Angela Makowa is a South African, she's a South African writer, and the blessed girl just basically was talking about the sugar daddy, the blesser and the blessee pandemic that seemed to be happening in South Africa, and I love that book. Hi, that book is sweet. I really enjoyed reading that book. That book was giving. It was giving everything he said it was going to give. And people that are watching makeup, I hope you are learning. People that are watching makeup tutorial, I hope you are learning. Don't mind my rambling, but I hope you are learning, sha. It's nice. I actually feel excited doing this. Yeah. So I like it. So yeah, another one that I've read, I did not think I was ever going to read So Long a Letter by Senegalese author Miriam Abba, because I know when I was in secondary school I used to see it in like the recommended text, you know, those big textbooks that we read for WAEC and NECO when you're preparing for it. I saw that there was a time it was the recommended text for maybe like our seniors or so, but in my own set it wasn't a recommended text. I didn't think that I was ever going to read it, but I read it and I reviewed it on my channel, and that video has one of the highest views on my YouTube channel. So but the book in itself, I love the book. I really love the book. It just gave me an insight into Senegalese culture. Like, I know so much about what's happening in Nigeria, but so I want to try something different, something outside my culture. But the thing is that seeing that we are all in Africa, these cultures, they kind of mirror each other. Yeah, so it's kind of like an African thing. Yeah, so it's an African thing, and anytime I find myself reading books by a non-Nigerian author, I always enjoy the experience. Like, I just feel so happy. I always enjoy the experience. It's always a wonderful experience, and you see it from the way I'm yapping excitedly about it in my review videos. So another one that I have read, I'm trying to think which other book written by, okay, so there was this one that I read by American author. I think the thing is, I've tried looking for that author on social media, but I'm not seeing, I can't see her. Samaya Dawood. Yes, Samaya Dawood. It's a combination of two books. Yeah, so there's the first book, Mirage, and there's its sequel, Court of Lions, by Samaya Dawood. So this was written by a Moroccan author, and I reviewed that, but I was expecting to see more from this author, and I've not seen anything from her. I really hope she's fine. She needs to get back to giving us more nice stories. Then I have read The Hairdresser of Harare. I think that's a personal favorite for everybody. That, so I'm not going to be, you know, doing the cream contour. No, so this one I'm doing now is just my basic makeup routine. I think I'm going to add more blush. I need to add more blush. So this is my basic makeup routine, like all those looks that I'm always giving you people when I come to talk about books on my channel. This is how I prepare for it too. The secret is out. The secret is out. Yeah. Hey. Yes, I need it to pop. So The Hairdresser of Harare, that book was fire. I really like that book. The secrets that we didn't know about. One thing that I did not think I was going to be doing on this channel was talking about like queer literature. Yeah, so I've talked about, let's say, like, is it 3 or 4 if you count Akweke Emezi's work into it. So the first one, there's Under the Udala by Chinelo Paranta. There's Blessings by Chukwuebuka Ibe. Then there's then I think Dear Centurion, kind of. Dear Centurion is on a very different spectrum. Like, Dear Centurion is on a very different spectrum. Because the person that even wrote it is not anyhow person. And one thing I appreciate about authors is their prolific writing. Like, it's not easy to be an author and maybe year in year out you're releasing books. So anytime I see authors that release books like that, just like maybe they've written this book years back and they're just waiting for that perfect publisher that will come and they'll start churning out the books. Like, same goes for indie authors. I feel like for the indie authors, so indie authors, I mean independent authors, those ones that publish their books without the help of known publishing houses, so they just publish it themselves. So far I've read books from quite a few. I know Kamapel is one of those authors, and even Adesua Oman Kedi, I think Iskirutai among them. I think at a point she used to be, I don't know if, I think she still is, I'm not so sure now. They specialize in romance. You see that romance I'm trying to get into. I want to read romance. It's just that I'm someone who, I read everything, apart from non-fiction. I would not readily pick up non-fiction to read unless maybe I know that, oh okay, I'm in for, like, I'll pick up fiction anytime, any day, than I'll pick non-fiction. So now, so we see Amu. Hey. So I know over the years, like, I've seen people, like some of my friends have come up to me to say, oh, that they really like the way that I go about reading, seeing how stressful being a Nigerian is. Because trust me, we are stressed. So like, they would like to read, and most times I just give them a short story recommendation. Like, I'm one of those people who would easily point you to a short story to read this one first, see it and hold body, then if you read this one finish, come back, I'll give you another recommendation. I'm not one of those people who would start giving you, oh, read all those big books, so 200 pages of books. No, I prefer to give you ones that have like maybe 10 pages maximum. Even that 10 pages is too much. I'm really particular about books. Like, I like reading. How did I even get into reading? Yes, I said I was going to talk about this here. So how I got into reading was a necessary thing, as this video is already 41 minutes. Shoot, should I do a part 1 or part 2? No, I don't need to do a part 1 or part 2. I'm just going to, don't worry, I know how I'll edit it and it will fall in line, don't worry. So I don't want to do too much. This foundation is not full coverage. I'm still seeing some of my spots. That means this doesn't happen. I'm still seeing some of my spots, and this doesn't happen with, this does not happen when I use Maybelline foundation. So this one is strange. I just like the glow it gives. Yeah, is it the, I like the glow it gives. I need to do my eyes, so I'm not doing much on the eyes. So I would say for, what was I talking about? Yeah, so for short stories, like I recently recommended Masquerade Season by Pemi Aguda to one of my friends, and the last I checked in on her, she was like, she was struggling. She was struggling, so I think we just need to just push her a little bit so that she can complete it, because that is a very, very short story. I read it on my Instagram last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. I read it last year, and now I see that it's part of the stories in the short story collection, the one titled Ghostroots. So Masquerade Season is the last story there, and it's a really short story. I even recommend it for kids, yeah, so kids can read it too. Yeah, so it's that nice of a story. Then another thing I recommend is just collection of short stories. So this way it could be up to 11 stories or there, but you just know that it's one story after the other. You're not bothered with a story that has too many plots, too many characters. You're just straight to the point here. Just going straight to the point here. So I think I'll fix my lashes. So is this set that I'm using? So I recently got this set because I wanted something very simple, short. Check, let me test it. Okay, I don't need to cut this one off. I don't know, this year I've been doing a whole lot of short stories collection, but there's this one that has been kind of hard for me to get into, and that's, is it Black Friday by Nawaal, one Ghanaian author like that. The main reason why that book is putting me off is because I have seen that it is set in a British neighborhood, and I don't know, I will just give it another try. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I've seen reviews on Goodreads and they are saying nice things about the book, so I'm not going to be that one person who would say, oh, I couldn't get into the book. No, I'm not going to be that person. So I'm going to give it another try, and probably, I think I started the book when I was tired from work. I was exhausted. I just gotten in from work, so I'm going to probably start it tomorrow. Once I'm relaxed, I'll do it tomorrow. But since I finished reading Midaq Alley today, I'm this person who opens two books at the same time. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually applying glue to my lashes. I can't leave one book open. It's not possible. As I'm finishing one like this, hey, I'm entering the second one. Probably maybe I'll continue from chapter 2 of the second one. It's not I'll just read only one book like that when there are so many books to be read. Hey, the books that I've bookmarked, like the ones that are on my want to read list on Goodreads alone, I think the last time I checked was 344, and that's not all the book that I want to read. Like, there are some that I just see on Goodreads Street and I just ignore. Like, let me finish these ones that I have first. Let me finish these ones that I've bookmarked too. And it doesn't look like something that I'll finish this year because I have work. I work a 9 to 5 job, 8 to 5 actually. So, and it's in a fast-paced environment, so there's no time to snooze. Like, we're always busy. Always busy. Always busy. So the fact that I'm even able to read, I'm giving myself a huge thumbs up for that. So while these lashes, I'm placing them to dry, I'll just do my waterline. I think I should start doing my lips now. Lipstick. I need something simple, something. I'm not putting anything red today. Are they telling you to apply red lipstick? Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go for something simple. So my reading plans from now till probably the end of the year, I plan to read a whole lot of romance books, like written by Nigerians, written by Africans, written by black people, indigenously black people, and written by black Americans. So far the author is said to be a black person. I'll read it. So I don't know if you can notice from the content that I'll put out on my YouTube channel so far, you see that I don't really do books written by Africans. I also do books written by black authors. This lip needs some color. So yeah, I'm almost getting tired of talking. That's the reminder that I need to end this video as soon as possible. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead to apply my highlighter. So yes, you can go ahead to tell me in the comment section what your reading plans are for the remainder of the year. So I plan to do a whole lot of romance because the economy is hard as it is, so I need to unwind. It's not every time they are maltreating one woman where she went to marry. I want the one where you know, there's soft love, where everything is just enjoyment, premium enjoyment. She's just being babied by a man. I want that too. So I have books on my list that fall into that category that I plan to explore, but a good recommendation can help. So I don't mind getting a recommendation from any one of you here. So soft love, books written by African authors, black American authors, you know, authors that have black blood in them. So there's this one that I know I'm going to be reading anytime soon, and that is, I think, Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. So this was the month I actually planned I was going to do a whole lot of Ghanaian fiction, but today's date is 21st. So I'll say so far this month I've managed to read like 2 or 3 books. Yes, like it's not even in my favor this time. Right? No, last month in August I think I read about 7 books or so, but this month, and I have an exam that is coming up in October, like first week of October. But once I'm done with that exam, it's reading galore. I'm even going on leave in November. Hey, I will choke people with book content. Like, you know me now. Who no go no. You go agree, say they happen. I'm basically done with the makeup now, so this is a very, very soft look. You see this makeup, it has to be learned to. I don't want to hear you say I can't do my makeup. I don't want to hear it from your mouth again. Always refer to this video. If you have questions, ask me. You can't do your makeup, okay? I'm here for you. I'm here to teach you. I'm just going to go ahead and apply setting spray. This is to lock the makeup in. Hey. It feels like I'm applying fleet on my face. It feels like I'm applying shatos on my face. What a beg you. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to do the finished look now. So guys, I went ahead to put on this hair, and this is the finished look. What do you guys think about this? So is this a content you like? Me applying makeup and talking about books, my bookish experiences, my reading experience in general, book opinions. If this is something you like, let me know in the comment section below so I can do more of this kind of content. I actually was very excited doing this. So if you've gotten to this point, if you've watched to this very point, thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate the view. Yeah, do well to click on the like button so that YouTube recommends this video to other YouTube users. Subscribe, and bye.